Oh, hi there. I just finished up with the Indianapolis vlog that went out today, and now I'm heading out to Iowa for the next race. Good morning, everyone. Tristan Folks is back, and we're literally going to back-to-back NASCAR races. Last weekend, we had the off weekend, called the summer break, but now we're going to Iowa. I didn't know if I'd be able to go to this race, but things open up, and we're going to take the opportunity, and believe it or not, this will be my first time ever going to Iowa Speedway. It's also going to be my first ever short track race. I went to the All-Star race in Bristol in 2020, but I don't know if that counts since it's not an actual race, but this one will 100% count. So I'm really looking forward to this. I think my guy has a second place car, if not a third place car, so really excited to see how things play out today. We're gonna talk a lot of NASCAR in this video, so I'm in St. Louis right now and I've got to drive the 5 hours there, so we're not gonna waste too much time, and I'm gonna share with y'all the 3 pre-race objectives, and then we will go from there. So we're gonna go over our pre-race objectives. They're pretty interesting this time around. So our first one is to eat a bag of popcorn on my journey to Iowa. I'm not a corn guy, but do I like popcorn? Yes. So that's how we're going to substitute that. My second one is to spot any sort of law enforcement vehicle in Iowa. I saw way too many when I drove through Iowa for the first time last year when I did my unexpected trip to Minneapolis in my car. So I'm sure I'm going to see a lot again. And then for the third one, count a total of 22 Iowa license plates as soon as I begin driving. And if we have to check parking lots at the racetrack, we will. But I think we can achieve all 3 of these. And if we don't, I'm going to have to do a forfeit and call a friend and see what a friend wants me to do. Anyways, let's get this show on the road because we need to get some gas and some popcorn, obviously, to achieve objective number 1. And then after that, we're gonna introduce a new segment in the race vlogs and see how it goes. This is so random, but like yesterday I looked at my passenger seat and I'm like, why is my seat so far back? And I remembered that Ray was in here a couple weeks ago at Indianapolis. He likes to lean back, and he put the seat all the way back. That freaked me out last night for some reason, and now I'm just remembering because I watched the race vlog. Please do that. Alrighty, we're back in business. So we got the typical popcorn. Usually don't eat any of these anymore, but you know, once in a big blue moon, it's okay. Look, it even has corn on it, so it counts. Don't tell me it doesn't count. And I'm trying to also manifest a Joey Logano win. If you couldn't tell, Indianapolis when I kissed the bricks. So yeah, we got a Coke Zero. Other than that, I'm gonna put the GPS in, and let's see how far do we have to go from here. We're still in St. Louis, by the way. I just went to my local gas station. 4 hours and 44 minutes. Guess is there 11:09. We're on great timing. I wanted to get there by 11:30, but we could run the race traffic still. Let's see, can we make this on 1 stop? Then we're gonna cut it close. It looks like we'll be probably under 120 miles to the good. With that being said, let's get this thing on a roll. Woo! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are about an hour into this wonderful drive on, I assume this is State Road 61 at this point because I-64 ended. And today, we're going to go over our new segment, Folks on 4 Wheels. So pretty much in this edition of the vlog, as I drive, I'm just going to talk about some NASCAR stuff. I just feel like I can't not talk about it. I just didn't say enough back in the Indy vlog, but I just wanted to share more of my Indianapolis thoughts. That was the worst race I've ever been to in my life. Like, when it came to vlogging that, it's like, what are you supposed to get videos of? Didn't see any crashes. Didn't really see any passes. Unless someone was having like an issue or something like that. So it's like, what can you really do? So it was just track position race. And they came up with the left side tire, a new one. And even wear. You could go out there on 2 tires. There were people on, you know, over 200-mile tires if you think about it that way, and they didn't pop. They didn't wear, or maybe they wore, but the aerodynamics of this car in dirty air made it really bad. Like, it was just awful. Please tell me you can help me with my Iowa license journeys. No, you cannot. I've only seen one in 1 hour so far, so I'm a little concerned. I'll find my way. But anyways, back to like talking to Indy. It just sucked, but you know, at the end of the day, I got to experience the race and make big connections. I had iRacing and stuff like that, so you gotta take like the wins as you can. And also, this is going to build into my next topic. So there's a new stage rule for NASCAR. Basically, if a caution comes out within 10 to go of the conclusion of the stage, that's the end of the stage. So I want to share what my experiences were back at the track. So when I was at Indy, we had the 1-lap shootout. I'm like, okay, we're going to prepare for a 1-lap shootout, and then we're going to have a caution and nothing's going to happen. Because we only had, I think, 2 cars. Allmendinger was one of them that went down pit road. I don't know why I remember that, probably because I had him in fantasy, but we just, you know, we wasted time. I think that's more of a track problem than anything when it comes to length and all that and pace speed. But then stage 2, we ran in caution so long just so we could get to the conclusion of the stage, and then we sent them down pit road. It felt like I could take a nap and I would have not have missed anything. And I just didn't have not a lack of attention, but a good attention span when watching that race. So I'm very intrigued how this is going to work today at Iowa. I also have an odd feeling there's going to be an odd caution within that 10 to go, and it's going to screw some things up here. Because this is also a short track. We're going from the length of a super speedway to, you know, a short track. So I wonder if something's going to go wrong. I suspect that it will. I don't know why, but I do. And then, obviously, we're going to Iowa. They're going to get a repave next year. They need it. Track's bumpy. We wrecked a couple cars in turn 1 yesterday in practice and qualifying with Chase Elliott and Brad Keselowski. And we are running higher horsepower, so that's good. It is actively raining in Iowa, so this is going to be pretty much a green racetrack when the race starts. So totally not inserting this, as I forgot what I want to talk about as well. The Iowa race date next year will be on 4th of July race weekend. I'm very interested how that'll work. It seems like a lot of the 4th of July races are just going to stay in the Midwest at this point, so if that's the way NASCAR wants to go, okay. We know this race is going to sell out. Maybe you build more grandstand seats. I don't think that's going to happen at all. Don't mind me continuing to forget other things that I meant to bring up. So, like, this is why I share my race day experiences. You never know if you're going to get a complete garbage race like we did a couple weekends ago at Indy. This is exactly why. Because something has to keep you entertained, because it sure as hell wasn't that race, I'm going to tell you that. With that being said, with my 2 added in things, that will now conclude Folks on 4 Wheels. Let me know how y'all like that one in the comments. I think it went pretty well, but let me know what y'all thought. I've came back to report that it has been 2 hours. I have not seen another Iowa license plate. I've seen more Minnesota, which is pissing me off, and I just drove through a town called Hannibal, and I hit 3 stoplights compared to everybody else. Like, I was following the same people for over an hour, and I don't even see them anymore. So, I'm a little pissed off, but I figured we knock one objective out of the way real quick. As they say, if you build it, they will come. As in, if I eat this, the Iowa license plates will come. Yes, this tastes like Iowa. Alright, welcome to Iowa. So, I feel like I owe y'all a story about our second objective, about why I expect to see law enforcement. So, last year, I'll just give you the context. I came back to St. Louis after being in Houston for the CONCACAF Gold Cup. I was following the Canamin's national team at the time. So I knew we were going to Minneapolis, but I looked at flights and we were looking at $500. I don't really want to drive my car over 8 hours unless it's strictly to Florida for like Daytona and stuff like that. And I ended up driving that. And they say Georgia's pretty bad when it comes to the highway patrol. I already see somebody braking. Oh, that's another thing. So I'm looking at my GPS right now on my phone. They have these stupid cameras, these stupid speed cameras. Like, Iowa doesn't have anything better to do, so Iowa's unfortunately the worst state that I visited, quote unquote. But, so yeah, let's not get caught by the camera, because we don't want that to happen. That's another reason, but they have a bunch of liveries. You just gotta watch. And like, I've seen them cross the medians in the grass to go pull somebody over from the other lane. So that's more of the why. And I know we're gonna see one. It's just a matter of when. And we've only seen 2 Iowa license plates. We need 20 in 2 hours and 15 minutes essentially. So pray for me. Anyways, the adventure continues, and I'm staying in Iowa City tonight. That was the last thing I wanted to bring up. We're less than an hour away until we get to Iowa Speedway. Our time is backed up only 6 minutes. This is also my first time on I-80, so this is all new to me. I'm liking the scenes. We've seen 21 Iowa license plates because somehow we had a bundle with 3. Surprisingly, I haven't seen law enforcement yet, but surely we're going to see them at the track, so I'm not worried. We should be able to complete the objectives. So we got 53 minutes to go, and then we'll be at the track. Right now, 11:17 is the ETA. We got 22! Let's go! At first, I had no clue because he was at a weird position, but we did get law enforcement. I'm gonna have to watch the footage to see if we got the actual footage of the car. I'm going to pray that I did, so I'm gonna take a look real quick, and hopefully that knocks out all 3 objectives. Alright, after looking back at VAR, I did confirm that I ended up getting a video. It was a undercover, which does not shock me whatsoever. It's just parked in a weird area, but in position as well. But we got it, so all 3 objectives are complete. We got 22 minutes to go to the track, and our ETA has gone up plus 4 minutes. Pretty cool facility, honestly. Gonna be really curious how getting out of this parking is going to work out. I'm very intrigued how this is gonna happen. I just feel like we don't got a lot of space to make things work, but we'll see how it happens. But like I said, we're gonna talk about NASCAR fantasy here, and we're definitely gonna lose at least one driver today after this race. I don't have Denny Hamlin to use, but we're not going to need him this race. So let's begin with the picks. So my first driver, it's going to be Ross Chastain. Fast in the speed charts, starting in the top 10. He almost won the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race last night. He ended up losing to Carson Kvapil in the one car, his teammate. And the car maybe not handles the best, but they can make the adjustments and make it more comfortable. So I think we'll see him run top 10 throughout the day. My second driver, because he just keeps crashing over and over, I somehow still have in my lineup. I did not project this. I have Kyle Larson. So he's starting on the front row. We've seen him start really good here, but something always happens to him for some reason. And maybe today's the day where nothing bad happens and he manages a top 10 finish. That would be the ideal. My third driver, the fastest car on the track, the guy starting first, is Ryan Blaney. Don't really know how else to put it. I think the only guy that can contest him, and that's going to come down even the pit crews, we have Joey Logano. Yeah, this guy. Really excited to see what he can do today. That's why I'm also really excited for this race. I think we're looking at easily a top 5 car. Could run top 3. Can he get the first? I'm not too sure. Can he run in second? I think so. And then my last driver, it's going to be Ty Gibbs. So, seems to just straight up be the best Toyota. Not having issues unlike all of his other teammates have. So, just going to be something we do need to keep in mind this race. So I have Blaney and Gibbs with 1 use left, so we either lose both or I lose one of them, which sucks because I want to use Blaney at New Hampshire. And then just look at the garage real quick. I decided to go with pretty much the Team Penske stable. I went with Austin Cindric. I don't think he's better than the other 2 guys, but can he find his way into the top 10, get some stage points and all that? I think he can. All right, so we're going to wrap this thing up with the matchup. So we got Ryan Blaney, the inaugural winner in the fastest car, against the defending race winner, William Byron. This one is still self-explanatory. I have Ryan Blaney. Next one, we got Chase Elliott, who crashed in practice, going up against Joey Logano. Also self-explanatory. It's going to be Joey Logano. And then my third, it's going to be between Josh Berry and Ryan Preece. Don't think we've seen what we thought we'd see out of Preece. Josh Berry, on the other hand, looks pretty good. I think he could creep into the top 10 for sure. So I'm going to go with Josh Berry. I just think, you know, the Team Penske stable in general brought good cars to the racetrack, and you're going to see a trend here. This is an odd matchup. We have Austin Cindric against Shane Van Gisbergen. Give me Austin Cindric. So this may seem like the most biased lineup on paper because of me, but the reality is this is what I'm seeing. So I'm excited to see how this race plays out. Lastly, before we get out to the track, I just wanted to talk about just the chase coming up. We have 4 races to go here, so Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, and Ty Gibbs are all locked in. I think one guy we could see get it today. We'll see. Carson Hocevar is in the 5th position, followed by Chase Elliott, Chase Briscoe, and then Kyle Larson. So there's going to be some drivers we probably take a look at see if they get in. We're not really going to look into the cut line until the last race of the regular season. Hint, hint. So take that as you will, but Austin Cindric does hold the last spot over Ryan Preece right now. So just a little about NASCAR right now. Other than that, I need to use the restroom because my bladder will probably explode after 5 hours of sitting in this car. And then we'll head to the track and have fun. 8.5 hours.
A record. I like it. No name. An athlete breaking records.
All right, we're gonna go check literally as much as we can out. I know there's some drivers back there, so maybe we'll go check that out first, and then we'll see what else we can get into, and then Dirk's Bentley's performing later, so that'd be a good one. But other than that, yeah, we're just gonna walk around and have a good time. So let's make it happen.
Who won NASCAR? I want to say that this is one of the most popular tracks, like when we drive in. What goes into like the design? Ooh.
We have made it in, lads. Iowa Speedway.
Busch Light sponsorship. That was my dream. I had a Busch Light belt buckle.
I just want to say that was probably the coolest sim experience I've ever done in my life. It was awesome in just so many ways. Like, you knew where the bumps were at this track. You felt it. It was fun. Probably a little tougher than I think it actually is, but it was really fun. So if you ever have the chance to see one of those at any of the tracks this year, do it.
What a great way to kick off some North American racing. Let's hear it for the T6 Tyson 2. Iowa Speedway, here to give the command of fire engines with the most famous words in motorsports. Please welcome Iowa Court Promotion Board President Joe Roberts.
On behalf of Iowa's corn farmers, drivers, start your corn! Ethanol powered engine!
definitely not the position that he wants to be in, but it was doable. It was overcomable. Now, an early wreck on lap 3.
Number 70, and that's important as we stack up the championship here.
Nice start, maybe gain another spot or two on the track.
Separates the banking from the flat apron of the racetrack.
First driver in his pit stall is Austin Dillon in front of Jason Toy.
Great run for Austin Dillon so far. Just lost a little bit of grip. We're going to try to tighten him up. Adjustments for him. He's over with the Fresh Racing Goodyear Eagles to go in. Sunoco's with one in for Chastain. Also in on pit road. We're seeing the stuff here. The tight end. Ross Chastain just ahead of Christensen. congratulations as well. He was 15th in the standings coming in. Now he spins, and he will go a lap.
Along with SVG as he went into turns number 3 and 4. Got a little one. We'll see if we got some help. Roller coaster was directly behind him, and no, he did not.
In that yellow number 12, here's the 22. Ross Chastain is in. And he has only, and it's down the play. Here's the they will choose inside or outside here on the choose, but to finish the thought, Chase Elliott's not going to have any traffic in front of him.
He'll go through the public restart zone. But green flag is
Downstairs is and that'll put us under the caution flag for the 4th time so far here in the Iowa Corn 350 powered by ethanol. Chase Elliott is the race leader.
finish line. Elliott comes across, and he will choose the outside in row 1, leading next to the bottom of the racetrack. That'll be your
Wallace is there to the inside of Logano, watching a great side-by-side fight for race lead. It's Brady, Chase Elliott. And the Hardee's Toyota leads the way in the Iowa Corn 350. Now Chase Elliott.
spin up the banking, and the caution flag waiting for the 5th time today.
So Osavar,
Logano all taking some very quick invasive action to miss out.
Things with Jason Toyota, Chase Elliott.
Chase Elliott's going to hit the mark first, but where some of these drivers might take 2 tires only and fuel, Chase is going to go forward. Torquing around, and it's also Austin coming in. They're going to go forward. Connor Zillenfeld runs over one of his guys. He's pulling away with a good fuel stop. Now all drivers here at the CNC post, the fuel will right that tire will do. corners of the racetrack. John Hunter Nemechek just took him up there. Larson's going to lose a handful of spots. Yeah, he does. He starts to kind of move in that direction. Larson going out for all the speedways here in Iowa. Toyotas, Christopher Bell from the outside, and they handle him
See another double wide race
Alright, just got back to my car. Looks like it'll be fairly easy to get out of here, so I have a lot to say. Some biased, some not. We'll talk about it soon, and maybe we'll run the Casey's on the way in. Alrighty, we are on the way to Iowa City. We got about just over an hour, barely. And Ty Gibbs ends up holding off Christopher Bell. He ended up taking 2 tires. I thought it was genius, just based on what I saw in the race earlier, and it absolutely worked. So credit to the 54 team, and the 20 hasn't won still, believe it or not. Another second place finish, just like last week at Indianapolis. Pretty crazy. On the other hand, why I have my own frustrations, it's just with my favorite driver's pit crew. It looked like he was going to cycle out as the leader. I thought the pit stop was really quick, which kind of explains why, because clearly the right rear, or whatever rear tire, wasn't tighting. So I don't think he would have won. I think, you know, top 2 plays are how it is. You get a 3rd, 4th place finish. Get like 14th instead. Finish a lap down as well. There's only 10 cars finished in the lead lap, which is cool and all. But yeah, that's fucking frustrating. I don't know what else to say, especially when you're on a big run. You have the chance to put yourself in the position to win the race, and yeah, all washed away. It was cool to see him pass half the field though, not gonna lie, but that's just what was in my mind. Once that happened, my vibe was kind of killed, but no, I still enjoyed the race by all means. It was better. We still saw some issues like Indianapolis, but nothing remotely close, so I was overall happy with the experience and just getting to see a race and just some chaos. So thought it was a good time. So I'll wrap the rest of this up at the hotel, and maybe we'll make some stops on the way. Also, we ended up getting 2nd in fantasy. Tom won. He got William Byron. I did not, because Kyle Larson can't really keep a clean car for his life when I put him in the lineup. Not frustrated. Really good points day again. Just my points is now double digits, but not worried. I told y'all we were coming to Casey's. Also, on the other hand, got the drive-through the University of Iowa campus. Pretty cool, not gonna lie. Seems like a good little college town, especially that it's in Iowa, so one of the most populated places, so it has to look good. Also at these Casey's, they sell strictly strawberry swirl prime, so I'm gonna try this thing out maybe at the end of the video. But time to head to the hotel, wind down, talk about my final thoughts and the race recap, and that'll be it. So let's go. All right, so here we are in the hotel. Actually very nice for a hotel that's in renovation. Just they're doing the wall work on the outside, but we're gonna recap this race, what we saw. So we knew Ryan Blaney started on the pole, and then we had that lap 4 crash between Tyler Reddick and Eric Jones. So I started recording when they were going 3 wide, or it looked like Chastain was going to make it 3 wide, but Reddick just lost control of the car, and his day pretty much just ended just like that. And then after that, we ended up making it all the way to the stage break with Ryan Blaney winning that one, followed by Joey Logano. So you think it's going to be one of those 2 guys winning the race coming up. And then we get into stage 2. Shane Van Gisbergen goes for a spin to the wall on his own, but doesn't really affect him too much. Just looking at point standings, because I looked at that when I was getting back here. And then after that, we had Ricky Stenhouse Jr. go into the wall, and scuffed the rear end, but he was still okay there. And then Carson Hocevar, who was just having a bad day, they were under the hood multiple times. He ends up going for a little spin. And then Kyle Larson, so it was the restart where he got shoved out of line already back in turn 2. So all this stack was already happening, which is why you had all of these cars bunched up. And then by time, they got out of 4, there just wasn't enough room, and it's just a coincidence that 2 teammates, as in Alex Bowman and Larson, run into each other. And I took Larson out of fantasy once again. I feel this is becoming a trend for some reason, as if maybe they want me to use him. I don't know who they is, but they want to tempt me to use him at Daytona for some odd reason. Maybe I'll consider it. Who knows? But other than that, we did have the stage 2 conclude. So we started seeing strategy, 2 tires, staying out on nothing. And Christopher Bell, he ends up winning the stage. And Joey Logano was second again. He's the first one on tires, so we didn't really see tires really fade until very late in a run. So we knew they could wear out, just, with the car and all that. Don't really see it too much, and then just with the second lane being one where you could just protect, even though you leave the inside open. After that, I remember, I talked about it earlier, there was no yellows after this, but this is where this guy, Joey Logano, it did appear he was going to get ahead of Christopher Bell on that final restart and start. I don't remember what the running order was, to be honest with you, but he would have been the first car out of pit road. Stop was quick, but clearly too quick that they didn't tie in one of the rear tires. I had a feeling something seemed a little too good to be true. Yeah, you're damn right about that one. And other than that, we had a cycle of green flag pit stops. So I was wondering if anybody would take 2 just because of what we saw, and Ty Gibbs ended up doing it. He ends up cycling out to the lead over Christopher Bell. I know Ryan Blaney tried to go short pitting. That's what it was. That didn't really pan out for him, even though he still finishes, top 3. But this race was really between Gibbs and Bell once Chastain hit pit road within 20 to go, or it was right at 20 to go. And you knew Bell was the better car in general in every way, shape, or form. I thought he was going to win the race. After stage 3, he was the one that looked the best, just based on pure eyesight throughout the second half of the race and maybe the late end of the first. But Gibbs just managed to hold on, didn't really make any mistakes at the end of the day. And I think Brad Keselowski was the guy they were trying to get by literally at the end, and Gibbs went high. And I mean, Bell, you can run through him, but Bell, I think as we saw 2 weeks ago back at Indy, he's not going to run through anybody, because I would have loved to see him run through Corey Heim. Oh boy, yeah, I'm fed up about that one. Because I look back at that block, by the way, I'm like, I would have drove through him. It would have made the Indy race so much more entertaining. I'm just saying. I think everyone would probably have been pissed off. That's the way the 22 would have got the win, but that's what it felt like, at least in the moment. But there's just be more backtracking. But overall, minus me, I don't know, I don't want to say ego, but we're in this chase era where points matter. I mean, when we reset in a few weeks after Daytona, it's not like everyone's going to be at 0, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be the new format, so wherever your position, points can be a big deal. So I think some of my emotions are starting to show. You do kind of want to see that in sports if you're a fan, because I can say, honestly, in the playoff era, it's just here and there. But now that, we're back into this thing now, I'm like, damn, I remember how hard this is. Because it can be hard. I mean, just look at Brad Keselowski back in 2013, who won a championship and didn't make the chase the previous year. It's the stuff like that. So, yeah, I am liking how the points are, shaping out. We didn't see anybody get into the chase today. Top 16 stayed the same as in the drivers. There's obviously some moving around. But other than that, yeah. And I'm sorry, this is where I want to add into my Iowa experience in general, just being the state. Now that I got to really experience it, even just be on this campus and just see stuff, yeah, I'm sorry I said a lot of bad things about Iowa when I drove through it last year when I was going to NSP, the Twin Cities. It was, I don't know, I just wasn't having it for some reason. But yeah, the people, they're awesome here. So I would highly recommend come out for 4th of July next year. I'm going to try. That would be a very fun race. It's also going to be repaved and all that. So yeah, I feel like I'm just going on and on, but I just had a lot to say, and I honestly really do appreciate this state. This would have been my first ever day at this state if it wasn't for me deciding, hey, I'm going to drive instead of not pay for a $500 plane ticket from St. Louis and Minneapolis. Pretty ridiculous if you tell me, but yeah, now you really get to experience it. It was cool. Iowa Speedway, cool little track. You would never know it's there. Property's really, neat. Presidents put some very hard work into there. Just the seating, we were a little squished. I think that was my only complaint. Oh, the Wi-Fi didn't extend out to my seats. So I was struggling because, you're in the middle of nowhere. It's kind of hard. Use your phone. So my mom managed my fantasy and put Larson in the garage, even though we missed out on 4 points. But maybe we'll, Larson's a big guy, defending champion. So we'll see how that, plays out. But other than that, before I end this video, the Prime bottle is literally holding the camera. So how about I drink that and then we'll end this thing off. I'm just gonna hold the camera, but yeah, it smells like, strawberry. Definitely a swirl. Let's give it a shot. Is it worth it? That was great. It's kind of like, like the strawberry Starburst. Alrighty, I'm going the crash to sleep because the reality is I worked last night. I did not get back until 11 p.m. and I woke up at 4 in the morning, so I only had 5 hours of sleep. And it is 7:57 p.m. So I think, everything played out very good. So happy about it. We're going to head back to St. Louis tomorrow and try to get this video out and not procrastinate. I just needed a break. And now we can get to pushing and doing bigger and better things coming up. So I just want to say thanks for watching, y'all. It was fun. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. We got, like I said earlier, we got really cool stuff coming up, especially in September. So you don't want to miss out on the cool stuff we have coming to this channel. So that's it from me. Thanks for watching. God bless. And I hope to see you real soon. Take care.